Washington vaccination.
The hottest topic right now that's trending is Devin Haney and Lomachenko going back and forth on Twitter, agreeing to fight next. So where do we stand at this fight? Have any development took place?
Well, I mean, that's one thing. The first part is getting the fighters to agree to fight, and then you got to get the teams to agree on the terms. So we did our due diligence. We've reached out to their team, and now we're just waiting to see what happens next.
They did agree to fight. Lomachenko said on Twitter that he will be ready for April, and Devin Haney said that he's free. With that being said, have an offer been sent to Team Lomachenko?
What you do is he reached out to him, right, to see if he's truly available, because it's one thing for fighters to say something on Twitter or to say something on Instagram or publicly in interviews. What Lomachenko has always did is operated through his team. This is one of the few times that you've heard him say something on Twitter, so now it's about just his team being on the same page as him.
Is there any details you could reveal as far as the conversation you had with Eddie Hearn as far as making this fight happen?
You got two fighters who have agreed to fight. So I don't want to step on anyone's toes right now and create bad blood in the sense of it not happening on the business side of it. So only thing I can do is just, let the people know that we're working at making it happen. You know what I mean? And then just give it to you as it develops.
Barbershop Conversation had a conversation with Bob Arum in which Bob revealed that he's very interested in the Devin Haney fight for Lomachenko. So as far as we know, Bob Arum shouldn't be the roadblock to making this fight. Matter of fact, he actually likes this fight.
And what do you have for Loma? How about Loma Haney? Have you thought about that?
Loma Haney.
Yes.
I think that's a fight that we would certainly consider. That would be a really good fight.
If Loma interested, if Bob is interested, and you guys interested, this should be the next fight.
Absolutely. That's the optimism that we're carrying with it, But like anything is, it's not done until it's done. So we did our part. Of course they've never reached out to us about making a fight happen. We're reaching out to them, and we go from there. We've heard, the rhetoric that Bob has talked about before in terms of me talking to him about making a fight happen. And he said that he prefers to talk to Eddie. I reached out to the manager myself. I do my due diligence and I reach out, as a manager reaching to another manager. You know what I mean? So we'll see.
Teofimo Lopez, he said that Devin Haney is not going to fight Lomachenko, that he's ducking Lomachenko, when it's obviously the other way around, because we know their history of Lomachenko requesting a franchise title to avoid Devin Haney. And Teofimo knows that better than I do. So what's your thoughts on his comments that he claiming no one is going to fight Lomachenko? They all afraid of him, including Devin Haney. What's your thoughts on what Teo had to say?
Well, I mean, if Teofimo has a fight with George Kambosos and he doesn't want to fight Devin Haney, and he's not assuring, he's not assuring that whoever Devin fights next is going to be his opponent for sure. Right. And he's not guaranteeing that Devin is going to be his next opponent. Then he needs to mind his own business, and concentrate on Kambosos and driving traffic to his event instead of undermining us in any way.
Didn't you have a conversation with his father, Senior? I think it was on the Boxing Voice, in which Senior acknowledged that Lomachenko avoided your son?
Yeah. The thing about that is that kind of talk is in the past. Right now, we're focusing on making the fight happen. I don't want to do anything to disappoint anyone and convolute the message. Right now, we reached out to their team, right, per Lomachenko's request. So we need to see. We need to just see from there. Until I receive something from his team or receive a message from Eddie that he's received something, the only thing we can do now is keep our fingers crossed.
How did you choose Lomachenko? Because
I did not choose him. He requested, Canelo requested. So we sent out a vote and we analyzed his history.
Ooh, Canelo and Lomachenko requested?
Absolutely.
Ooh, you just made headlines.
Lomachenko.
You just made headlines.
Lomachenko, top rank, requested. And Let me tell you, we analyzed the request. Top of the top.
Define the franchise belt. Can you define it?
The franchise is not a belt, it's not a championship, it's a designation given to elite, unique fighters who carry the industry of the sport of boxing. Canelo Alvarez and Lomachenko are two sensational fighters who carry the industry.
Ask Cameron Duncan, do Top Rank have like columns of fighters, and they say we don't want this guy fighting the black fighter, we don't want this fighter fighting the Mexican fighter, and so on and so forth?
You're gonna get into the racial stuff, huh?
No, I'm not. I'm asking.
That's a theory there by the greatest matchmaker, probably, in my opinion, ever.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not going to mention his name either, but you know what I'm talking about.
Uh-huh.
And he used to have a thing up on his board, NBF, no black fighters.
Uh-huh.
And when I was taught to bring up a fighter, you know, and again, it's just, he used to say to me, you can go anywhere in the country. And I'm going to leave it at this. I don't want to go into a long discussion because people are people in God's eyes, and we're all the same. He used to say to me, you can go anywhere into a city in America or anywhere in the world and ask a white guy, and he didn't say any other, he didn't say anything about Hispanic, anything. Ask a white guy to throw a jab, and half of them are going to turn backwards and throw it like a girl and everything. Ask any black man on a street corner in any city in the world, and they will snap out a jab in a heartbeat. And I used to laugh. He said, they're just more physically gifted. And he said, and so they have speed, and better to stay away from them. Nothing personal. So I said, okay. And I've lived by that. And, you know, I don't want to sound like some weird guy, but, you know, you're trying to be safe with your guys. And so, yeah, there is a thing about that, you know, but not in a bad way, in a very respectful way, you know, to be careful. So that's all.
The last man even said they doing that to protect them.
Right.
Somebody beat them, but they don't get a belt.
There you go.
The franchise belt is protect them from the big black guys.
So you would favor Devin Haney to beat Vasily Lomachenko?
And with the fighter, I'm only going to put him in a fight that I believe that he can win, right? So I don't know how to answer that question.
Did you say you would only put your fighter in a position where, in a fight where he can win?
Where I believe he could win. Yeah, I don't put a fighter in where he has no chance and he's just in there for a payday for me and him. I don't do that.
So is it more about how you...
I don't put a fight out. That, again, goes back to Leonard Ellaby. What he was trying to say. It's risk-reward.
Right. So if you were in a situation where you felt like, I'm going to just use hypotheticals. If you thought that Devin Haney was a bad matchup for Teofimo Lopez, in essence, you wouldn't make that fight because you didn't want to put Teofimo in a situation where you felt like he couldn't win. Is that what I'm hearing?
Only if, I mean, you sometimes make a fight because if let's say the fighter has a 40% chance of winning. So he's like, in your mind, an underdog. If the reward is great, you make that fight. It's risk-reward.
Get ready to take your striking game to the next level with the Focus Ball. Dramatically improved footwork, timing, head movement, hand-eye coordination, reflex, and overall fight IQ.
Fellas, I've got some great news for you. If you've lost your hair or have a receding hairline, the time has come when you can finally get your hairline back through a process called scalp micropigmentation. So here's how it works. It's a hair tattoo that replicates the look of your hair follicles when you have fully shaved it down. Basically, you will end up with a haircut shape up or an edge up. What they do is they tattoo small dots that look like hair follicles in the areas where you have lost your hair and then blend it with your existing hair. You can even choose what type of hairline you want, hard shape up or soft and natural finish. And to maintain it, all you gotta do is shave your hair every few days, which is something you already were probably doing anyway. Make sure you go ahead and contact my man Scalp Carolinas on Instagram. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, then this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called Elo Key Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to elodekey.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram.